This week we're bearing down. Jerry, where are we headed?
Heading up to Haynesville, Maine with our friends at Katahdin Shadow Outfitters.
Watch this and you're going to understand exactly why this is one of our favorite destinations.
This week on Forever Wild Outdoors, Steve Byers heads to Maine and Katahdin Shadow Outfitters with Willie Powell for bear hunting action. Plus, the Tobins of Maine come to upstate New York for an intense turkey hunt. Stay tuned.
Jerry, before we head to Maine, I think Maine's coming to us.
Yeah, we got a little turkey hunting up in the North Country with Uncle Ralph and Steve Byers. See if we can get Jack and Matt Tobin a bird.
Watch this. Springtime is one of our favorite times of year.
When we went up with Steve and Savannah and to go hunting for her bear that year, Matt and Jack had come over to me and asked me if it would be all right to come down next spring and do a turkey hunt. I said, sure, come on down.
Ralph called me up and said, hey, would you be interested in videoing tomorrow morning? I got another youth hunter up here from Katahdin Shadow. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to go out.
Well, folks, we're here this morning. It is the 22nd. This is Jack Tobin and Matt Tobin. They come down from Maine, from Katahdin Shadow Outfitters, to do a little bit of turkey hunting. Jack has never shot a bird before, so this is his first time. And we put some birds to bed last night. And you excited? Yeah. Yeah.
We got set up, and Uncle Ralph, being Uncle Ralph, he knew exactly where that bird was. He, few calls, that bird gobbled his fool head off.
He gobbled, and I was like, whoa, he's back about 100 yards into the woods. And I was like, well, play it out, see what he does, you know, because if he's 100 yards into the woods and he knows where his hen is, he's going to probably skirt right across the woods and go right to the hen. That's what worried me the most. I call, he gobbles, I call again, he triple gobbles, he's hot. Comes down off the roost, and I can see him. Jack can't see him because he's down in a little cubby, and I can see the bird down at the end of the cow's leg.
I look up to my left, and I knew Ralph and Jack didn't see it at that point because they were watching the tom that was in front of us, but all of a sudden this Jake comes walking across the field. And that tom had already been kind of hung up, but the Jake wasn't hung up. He was coming right to our decoy. And I believe that Jake was enough to get him fired up to make that final fatal step.
That bird broke strut and come under the fence and come along the edge of the fence, about 3 feet off the edge of the fence. And that Jake and that Tom, they crossed paths, never paid attention to each other. Jack got on the bird, and then he just pounded that bird like there was no tomorrow. bird, 3.5-year-old bird, ended up being, and his first bird.
My name is Jack Tobin, and I came up to northern New York from Maine with my dad to hunt with Ralph Lowry and Steve Byers. And he showed right up and shot him twice. He gave me a great turkey hunt, had an awesome time. My name is Jack Tobin, and this has been my Forever Wild Outdoors Adrenaline Adventure.
Coming up next, Steve Byers heads to Maine for a week-long bear hunt.
Shadow Outfitters, some great guys. So I'm really excited about heading up there. I'm also excited to meet up with a new friend of the show, Willie Powell. He won the bear raffle at our annual show, so he's on his way up also. It was a beautiful drive up through. I was really enjoying it. I got up there when I pulled in. Again, I was a little apprehensive. I was going to hunt with a guy I'd never really met before. I was going to spend a lot of time in the woods with him, but when I got there, all the guys from Katahdin Shadow were on the porch. They were all sitting around and talking and having a good time. Willie walked right up to me, ended up being a great guy. I had a blast with him the whole, the 4 or 5 days that we got to be together.
My name is Willie Powell from Walworth, New York. I'm up here at Katahdin Shadow Outfitters. I'm hunting bear this week.
Just a real outdoorsman, sportsman. He's a great guy. It's amazing because their accommodations there are really nice. I was thinking more kind of like hunting camp. It was going to be a little bit roughing it. They fed you like kings. The whole week we ate great. That night everybody was excited, and Andre talked with all of us about what was going to happen over the course of the week, where we'd be hunting and things like that.
We like to have 9 hunters in camp per week. With our 59 sites, that guarantees every hunter 2 fresh sites. Every one of our sites is baited every single day, and we know where the bears are coming in, when they're coming in. Guarantee our hunters the best opportunity at a bear.
Steve spent some time with Jack Tobin and gets the lay of the land, including the techniques used for setting a bear bait.
Manila and anise.
So then you throw in the donuts, and then why do you plug the hole with all those sticks?
So raccoons can't get to them and other creatures of the wild.
They spray anise around, just things that you wouldn't even think of. They spray it on the trees. One of the things that really surprised me is I was under the impression you go in as stealthily as possible, as quiet as possible, so you don't no intrusion, but it's quite the opposite.
I noticed when you were in there, you were like slamming barrels and buckets and everything around. What's the purpose of that?
I'm very consistent, so I do that every single day. It's basically the dinner bell for the bear. And when I walk out, I bang the barrel and make a ruckus. So when we have a hunter in there, I can cover his sound while he's getting ready while walking out as well.
Jack Tobin does a lot around camp, and his hard work sets the stage for successful hunts.
Now, what impresses me the most about Jack, to have such a debilitating disease as Lyme disease, it absolutely amazes me how he can do so much. Baiting bears, moving barrels, cutting trees, cutting trails at bear camp. He's also a firefighter, doing everything he can to improve his life. He's a very strong-willed person.
Willie Powell is aiming for a big bear up next on Forever Wild.
Just make sure that nothing got bumped in travel. They had a sand pit down the road. They took us down there where we could sight our rifle in. said to me, is there anything of mine when I'm gone that you would really like to have? So I said, well, Dad, if you could really give me anything of real sentimental value, do you still have that old Remington 760 pump that you had? And he said, of course, I would never get rid of that. And I said, well, I shot my first deer with that rifle, and it would really mean a lot to me if I had it, and someday passed down to my son. It had a lot of sentimental value to me.
Love you, Dad.
Now we are headed out to our first spot. We're here with our guy, Joshua, who ironically is from Cortland, New York. Willie's up to bat, using his .44 pistol, and I'm going to be videoing, so pretty excited.
We went out, got in our blinds. They have the blinds all set up. They're ready to go. You mean you virtually have to do anything but just go sit down, make a little hole in the blind where you want to peer through, and get set up.
Bear hunting requires a lot of patience and quiet as Willie discovers his first uneventful night. But there is still hope.
Night 2 of our hunt here at Katahdin Shadow Outfitters. Getting ready to head back out again. I'm going to go to the same site that we sat at last night. We didn't see any bear last night, but it was a pretty quiet evening. So we're going to go back tonight. Hopefully they come by and hit the bait. I'm here with Willie Powell. We're looking to get him a bear tonight.
Another night, another lost chance. The conditions are not cooperating.
The one that we hunted for the first few days was getting hit, but apparently they were coming in after dark.
But we're on day 3 of our hunt here in the Katahdin Shadow Outfitters, Haynesville, Maine. We haven't seen a bear yet, but they did get one at camp last night. They got a nice bear. Willie Powell's ready to finally get a shot at one.
Andre would always say, if the woods get real quiet, this was kind of my first bear hunt, so I was learning a lot. He'd say, if the woods get real quiet, there's a good chance that there's a bear around, so pay attention. And it happened. Many of the nights when I was hunting with Willie, it would get real quiet, and we'd think, man, it's going to happen. But for whatever reason, the bear just didn't come in. It was kind of a joke that we didn't literally see a squirrel. I mean, we didn't have a clip of a squirrel or a bird on for those 3 days. I mean, literally saw nothing. But we hunted for 4 days till Thursday, and then Willie told me, hey, I'm going to have to go. I need to go home. If you spend any kind of time with Willie at all, you'll know right off the bat, the guy loves his boys. And he said, they got football games. I'm not going to be able to hunt the whole week. I really want to be back for those. And I said, that's no problem. If you don't have it tagged out by then, the guys have said that, I can hunt. So whenever you got to leave, I'll just start hunting from there.
Next, with 1 day left, Steve Byers looks to take a bear down. Stay tuned.
As luck would have it, Willie couldn't stay for the whole trip, so he had to cut his trip a little bit short.
Which gave Steve Byers an opportunity to get in front of the camera and do a little bear hunt himself.
Batter up.
So on the 5th day of the hunt, I woke up, I was excited, got ready a little earlier. We were going back to a site that Willie and I had hunted the night before. Again, they were getting some pictures of bears there. They could tell the baits were getting hit. So I was real excited about getting out there. And on the way there, Andre gets a notification on his phone. And he holds up a picture to me, and it's a bear on a site. That's on the site I'm taking you to right now. I go, there's one there right now? He goes, yeah. And I said to him, is there any way we can actually sneak in on this bear? And he said, well, we can try it. We got to the site,